Hello friends. Let me start with a question. How many of you who are sitting here are right-handed? That means they have right hand dominant. Please raise your hands. Quite a few. Now, if I may ask, is there anyone or how many of you are left-handed dominant? I mean, they are using left hand as dominant hand. I can't see anyone. And anyone who can use both hands? Obviously, no one. So friends, this is what I am going to talk about. Ambidexterity. That means ability to use both hands with same dexterity and same precision. Friends, I am Dr. Rakesh Gupta. I am an eye surgeon by profession, and now I am motivation speaker, I am innovator and thinker as well. So friends, by practicing ambidexterity, I have rewired my skills, and not only rewired my skills, but I have also rewired my brain. That I realized quite later on. And that has brought a paradigm shift in my eye surgeries. It has unlocked a new dimension of precision, creativity and innovation. Ambidexterity is a word which is quite common in corporate world these days, and which simply means the capacity to do any work or your business or to run your company with two opposing principles. One is exploiting the current means, current HR, current resources to earn. At the same time, exploring new possibilities, newer areas, untapped areas, newer startups to keep growing. So that actually keeps it actually makes the company which is future proof. That means today it is surviving, it is earning well, but tomorrow also with changing times, the company should be able to survive, and not only survive, to grow and to expand. So any company which has a high ambidexterity and high agility is likely to become a future-proof company for themselves, for their employees, and more people like to join them. So friends, similarly, ambidexterity means ability to work in both different directions is possible in our human body also. So let me give you an analogy of cricket field. You know, cricket field is a circular round area where there are different field settings. And if we talk of maybe 40-50 years back, most batsmen were either right-handed or left-handed, and they used to play orthodox shots because they know, according to the field, in a typical test match, they will get opportunity to get a ball which they can hit in their areas of strength. But in today's world, where like T20, there are situations when there are last 6 balls left and batsmen might need to hit 20 runs, 30 runs. And it is quite possible. Why? Because we have all seen A.B. de Villiers, Suryakumar Yadav and now Vaibhav Suryavanshi. These are all great players. What they do simply, because when last 6 balls are left, the bowling team, they will put all the fielders in their area of strength. And what they simply need to do, they need to switch their side. If they are right-handed, they need to switch to left-handed position and hit ball in a area where there are no fielders, and still it is possible to maybe score 20-30 runs in 6 balls. So what change has come? The batsmen have learned to hit in both directions. That is why Suryakumar Yadav is called 360-degree batsman. A.B. de Villiers is called Mr. 360-degree batsman. Similarly, in surgery also, it is possible. So let me tell you, I'm an eye surgeon. Eye is like actually a cricket field. It is a round thing, and there are different zones from where we can go and operate. Like especially cataract surgery, there are different zones where we can go. We can use superior area, temporal, nasal, supratemporal, supranasal. These are technical terms, but this is how, like a field setting in cricket. Similarly, these are the situations, these are the areas where we can operate. And most of the surgeons who are either right-handed or left-hand dominant, they can only work in their 90-degree zone, restricted zone. They only have 90-degree, 1/4 of the area where they can actually operate, because they are only using one hand as a dominant hand. And this is where, I have made a difference in my life, and not only to my life, to my patient's life, to many new resident doctors who are learning this. So this is how I've acquired ambidexterity and what it has done. You see, this is a video where you can see that I'm operating with my left hand as a dominant hand, patient's left eye, and now one eye surgery is done, and now second eye next patient is actually right eye, and sitting at the same position, I'm using my right hand as a dominant. So I'm not restricted to that 90-degree zone, I'm actually utilizing full 360-degree to be able to operate, to give better results, and to increase the speed in my patient surgery. So how does this ambidexterity has helped me in my surgeries? It has increased the speed of surgery. My surgery is quite faster now. I used to take about around 12 to 15 minutes initially for a surgery. Now I'm doing the same surgery in 6 to 7 minutes. Now I'm able to give same results in right eye versus left eye. Most right-handed surgeons can give better results in the right eye. Left-handed surgeons can give better results in the left eye. With ambidexterity, I'm able to give equally good and same results, and better results rather, in both eyes. The visual outcomes are better. There are technical reasons for that. I will explain. There are certain complex cases like posterior polar cataract, subluxated cataract, small pupil cataracts, where I can give better results with minimal complication and in a shortest possible time. The complication rates even in the routine cases has dropped down to near zero. There is something called astigmatism. Many of you must be using glasses. You must be aware about astigmatism or cylindrical number, which has some axis. That cylindrical number is because of that round corner which I have shown in the earlier image. So in astigmatic, I'm able to give astigmatic neutral incision in all the patients because I can use both hands from right side, left side, changing by hands. I can give astigmatically neutral incision whether it is right eye or whether it is left eye. There is very special advantage because today cataract surgery is not only cataract surgery, it is refractive cataract surgery. And you must be aware that the cost of cataract surgery has gone up to 2 lakh rupees each eye because of premium IOLs. Each IOL is costing around 1.2, 1.5 lakhs. So in those, when we are opting for those lenses, it is very important to plan your incision at a right axis, which is very much possible with ambidexterity. And there is extra advantage when it comes to managing complication. For example, if one hand dominant surgeon suffers a complication, then ambidextrous surgeon can go and manage the complication in much better way. So this is how by ambidexterity is now giving advantage to patients. And this has been, there are publications which support this finding that one hand dominant leads to more complications and reduces the zone of work for a surgeon, while ambidexterity gives more free area to work on. So many people ask me, how did this idea of ambidexterity came to my mind? So friends, it started with a very playful moment in my family that changed everything. I am a proud father of 3 daughters, and 2 young daughters are twins. One of them is right-handed and one of them is lefty. So I was playing badminton with them, and I realized that my left-handed dominant daughter was little uncomfortable because I was using my right hand and she was using her left hand. So I decided to switch to my left hand to sync with her game. Though I was not perfect initially, but I realized in few days that my left hand racket movement improved, whether it's forehand or backhand. And the same happened when I was playing table tennis with my daughter. Then a spark came to my mind, whether it is possible to repeat this feast in surgery also. So it came to my mind temporarily, but there were so many inhibitions in my mind which stopped this. This was, I'm talking about 2018-19. So, but that spark came, it repeatedly I kept thinking, is it possible? Is it possible? If it becomes possible, then I will be able to give better results in cataract surgery. Though I have been doing cataract surgery, I have done thousands of surgery over the last 20 years. I was quite in comfort zone, and but that idea came to my mind. But what happened, again sitting with my daughters, I was reading this story, this famous story of elephant and rope story, that elephant was young and trainers tied them with a small rope. Elephant tried a lot to break that rope when elephant was small. He couldn't. And then he got convinced that this rope is too strong, he cannot break it. And when elephant grew in size, massive size, when he could have broken trees, he never tried to break that small rope. Why? Because he was so convinced that he is not able to break that rope. Because he tried once, now he cannot. So, that is how, and this story is not of that elephant. This story belongs to me, to you, everybody here. Because what happens, most of us are living in this kind of reality. We are not chained not by reality, but by memory. There is an invisible boundary around all of us simply because of our childhood training or some restrictions by our parents or society. And we stop thinking to push that boundary, though that boundary is movable. So what happened? I was having this desire in my mind to try operating with my left hand. And I was not getting opportunity because I'm a busy practitioner. I have 3 hospitals, hardly any time. But a COVID came, and that was a difficult time. I think it was the most difficult time. God forbid this kind of time should never come. Many families have been ruled by so many deaths. But that difficult time gave me a hidden gift. There is a famous saying that in the middle of difficulties lies an opportunity. For me, this proverb became very important. There were 2 months of lockdown. My hospital was shut down. I had many expenses to meet. Salary was, flowing to all the staff. I was suffering losses. It was very depressing moments, those 2 months. But when I was sitting ideal, this idea came to my mind. When I'm sitting ideal, there is no work. Why can't I try my long-lasting dream? So I made a wet lab in my hospital, and I started to work with my left hand. And to be honest, first few attempts were pathetic. I actually failed. And I actually stopped trying it after 3-4 attempts. Then again, after a week, I decided, let me try once again. And when I went to the wet lab again, I realized that my left hand, which was shaking earlier, started showing good movements with my left hand, holding small instruments. And when days turned to weeks and weeks to months, I realized my left hand became very proficient. And in 3-4 months, my left hand was as good as right hand in holding instruments and moving. And when lockdown was over, I started operating on my patients gradually. Initially, I was doing simple steps, then started doing difficult steps. In over 6 months, I realized my left hand became very good. And then what happened next actually changed my life forever. It didn't just change my hands, it actually rewired my mind. The way I started thinking, new ideas started coming to my mind. I felt as if I am in an open new land. I can run as much as and cover as much land as I want. So starting working on new ideas which were coming to my mind, and everything which came to my mind, I started trying and it started realizing. So what happened? From acquiring skill, I actually started doing innovation. Because there is a concept that our left half of the brain is logical and right half of the brain is creative. So when I started using my left hand, the neuroplasticity came into picture. There is a new wiring which started in my brain, and my brain started thinking in innovative ways. And those new concepts started coming to my mind. As a surgeon, there were so many challenges which I was facing. I started finding solution to those problems. I designed instruments, I designed some new techniques, and several techniques are so popular now, which has made tough surgeries looking very simple now. Some peers tell me that I am lucky, I am talented, it is a God gift. But friends, what looks like overnight success actually takes years. You remember that story of bamboo? It takes 5 years for the roots to grow, but when first shoots start coming, in few months, 6 weeks, it reaches the height of many meters. And many surgeons believe that in the era of artificial intelligence and robotics, we human surgeons may become irrelevant. But this answer to this fear has been given by Charles Darwin centuries back, that it is not the strongest one who will survive, it is not the most intelligent person who will survive. The one who is most adaptable to change is going to survive. So friends, we should be ready to adapt, we should be agile, and we should learn to push our boundaries made during childhood by ourselves or from our society. And this is the best medallion which is given by a mentor of my mentors, Professor Rakesh Gupta, who is ex-dean of Maulana Azad Medical College, Delhi. So friends, my message to you is that give your other hand a chance. When I say other hand, that does not mean anatomical hand. That other hand may be your other part of the life. We all have, like I trained myself in ambidexterity is not a technical part. I started exploring that part of myself which was never trained or tested earlier. That other hand may be different thing. For example, if you believe in comfort, it could be discomfort, zone of discomfort. If you believe in certainty, the other hand could be zone of uncertainty. If you believe in safety, security, the other hand may be taking risk. So give your other hand a chance. If you push your boundaries, if you challenge your dominance, if you change your default settings, you will unlock a dominant future in your life. Thank you.